I started sharing walks and good spots with friends on Instagram. I'd search for hikes and read the descriptions, wanting to be prepared, but I felt like they were either understated by ultra fit people or over dramatized by wusses. So I became the review I was looking for. I'm not super fit. I'm not a pro, just your average Kiwi girl sharing walks and good spots to inspire others and hopefully give people the confidence to go out there and give it a go. Also, recording my voice gives me a bit of an ick, so I hope I'm not too painful on your ears and the info is worth it. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Oh, I almost forgot. You can check out my other videos for an unnarrated version if you prefer. Day 1, the divide to Lake Mackenzie, 12 k's, and it should take approximately 4 to 6 hours according to the dock sign, and we're departing at 11 a.m. Minutes in and we come to our first bridge and waterfall, a small teaser of what's to come, but we ain't seen nothing yet. The track starts with an incline and a well-formed gravel path. There are a few flatter sections along the way where you can have a bit of a rest. There's definitely some more rockier parts along the way. Here is the turn off the Key Summit and our return. I was told that this walk is really worth it if the day is clear, but because it was rainy and very misty, there would be no views, so we decided to skip it. It was raining most of the day for us. Luckily, most of the track was under the tree line, so we were relatively sheltered. We did miss out on some views, but all the extra water really brought the mountains to life, and the rivers and the streams and the drips and the We decided to start at the divide as we preferred the terrain. This way was uphill on day 1, day 2 being similar terrain in both directions, but from Lake Mackenzie Hut we would get switchbacks in the morning rather than from the other way. We would get a decent amount of stairs in the morning. Day 3 is downhill walkout, which is quite nice. It's also a shorter day, which means we can get back to Queenstown earlier. Just thought it's better to go harder on day 1 and easier on day 3 while we're enthusiastic rather than the other way around. not going to lie, this part of the track was a little bit gnarly. I think it was because it was wet and muddy and it made it a bit slippery. So I definitely made good use of the ropes. Don't get me wrong though, it is safe enough. You just need to watch where you're going. It only lasts for a short while, so don't worry too much about it. Anyway, enjoy these next few clips. This is Elam Falls, 174 metres high and one of the tallest waterfalls in Fiordland National Park according to Google. You can walk right around the base of the falls, and after rain the flow increased dramatically. You really feel and hear how powerful it is. The wind, the wet, we got saturated. The falls are so big I couldn't even capture the whole thing without drastically angling my phone. The power of nature is just unbelievable. The final stretch is quite rocky, with some large boulders to navigate. Expect a bit of climbing up rocks and a bit of sliding down rocks, depending on how steady you are. It does get a bit sore on old knees, and if you're a bit tired, you get a bit sick of it. My photos probably don't do this part of the journey justice. I saw a few people with walking sticks, and that would probably help balancing down some of these steeper rocky stairs. Finally reached the Lake Mackenzie Hut. It took us 5.5 hours. We took our time, enjoyed the scenery, and stopped for plenty of photos. But pretty humbling that it took us that long, to be honest. We all took a dip in Lake Mackenzie, very, very cold. There was a few different techniques used. Some people went fast and furious and some went slow and eased themselves in. Highly recommend just for part of the experience, and also cold water is good for achy joints and muscles and all that kind of thing. And it's so picturesque, how could you not? This was another highlight of day one and I'm so glad I did it. Welcome to my tour of Lake Mackenzie's Dock Hut and our accommodation on night one. The hut is right next to beautiful Lake Mackenzie. The rangers have their own little house thing. There are co-ed flushing toilets with paper and basins. Dorm 1 is upstairs and is a mix of single bunk beds and single level platform beds. Dorm 2 has platform bunks. First in, first served. So if you're fussy, get there early to reserve your spot. I took a microfiber sheet, well worth the minimal weight and the low cost. It added a layer of warmth and eliminated the ick feeling of sleeping on public mattresses, although they were very clean. So highly recommend that. The lodge has a communal area with a kitchen, dining space and spots to sit near the fire. The wood fire is a perfect place for drying wet gear if there's enough room. There's gas cookers with gas. Doc recommends boiling the water for at least 3 minutes. However, I would suggest using water purifying tablets, as boiling the water and waiting for it to cool and then putting it in your drink bottles, especially if they're plastic, can be a real hassle. To be honest, we didn't bother boiling the water or using aquatabs and we were fine. But we also have probably a 50-year-old water tank at home, so we're probably used to a few bugs and stuff. On a side note, there's no rubbish bins, so be prepared to hike out with all your rubbish. There's limited lighting at night and none around camp, so I'd recommend bringing head torches, especially for going to the bathroom at night and packing bags in the dorm in the morning. I used my iPhone torch, but it really wasn't sufficient. Day 2, we head from Lake Mackenzie to Routeburn Falls Hut, 11.3 k's and approximately 4.5 to 6 hours apparently. We woke to rain, so we set off at 8 a.m. wanting to get a bit of a head start after going overtime yesterday. That mountain you see there, we're about to climb that. The bush was quite dark, but once we broke the tree line, we were rewarded with incredible views down over Lake Mackenzie's. You'd take 5 steps, take a photo, go, oh my gosh, incredible, take 5 more steps and be like, wow, this is even better. As we zigzagged up the hill, if the view wasn't distracting enough, the path was like a creek in parts, which would be quite unnerving at times because it's so close to the edge. top. It's a bit rainy up here, but I'm pretty glad it's not windy. I can only imagine what the views would be like looking down to the gully or the mountains or whatever the mist is hiding. Right about now, I'm questioning my decision whether I should have come on this walk or not. This downpour of water goes straight down my back and totally saturates me. The clouds roll in and out so quick. Here you can actually see within the matter of seconds the hills clear and it just totally engulfed with the clouds. A few of the mountains decided to show themselves and peek out of the clouds just as we were reaching Harris Shelter. Man, that shelter looked good. We were freezing and we hadn't stopped, so it was really well overdue break stop. We didn't stop too long though, because you get quite cold, because at this point we're absolutely drenched and just kind of want to keep moving. Must be close to crossing the two national parks. The Fiordland and Mount Aspiring National Parks cross at the Harris Saddle, which is the highest point on the track, but I'm not exactly sure exactly where it is though. These tarns stretch towards Lake Harris. Around here somewhere is Valley of the Trolls, which is a side track you can take. It's not marked or anything, so I'm not 100% sure where it is, but I'm guessing it's more towards the gully somewhere. We are now in Mount Aspiring National Park, and this is Lake Harris. The views of the lake are quite spectacular even on this misty day. Some of the paths are a bit gnarly, a bit thin. Once again, lots of water running down, seem really close to the edge, but it just might be the moody weather making things seem a little bit more dramatic than they normally would be. But such a good adventure, and pretty happy with how the walk's going so far. I'm pretty pleased to be walking down these stairs and not up them. The gully seems to go on and on forever, and at this point you just embrace being wet. Some parts of the path are pretty deep, well over ankle, and I'm just splashing through them at this point. The top of the Routeburn Falls means we're nearly home for the night, and we even get a little bit of a view. So these are the stairs, so we're not through the obstacles yet. We've made it to Routeburn Falls Hut. We've arrived at 2:44, a total of 6:44 hours. Not too bad in that weather. Here is my hut tour of Routeburn Falls Hut. I can tell you this hut is 5-star luxury compared to Lake Mackenzie Hut. We're greeted with a corridor where you can hang wet clothes that opens up into a massive deck that overlooks the valley. There's common rooms to the left. They include kitchen and 2 dining and hangout spaces and a wood fire. To the right are 3 separate dorm rooms. They all have separate bunks divided off into 4 with storage at the end of the bed. It all looks super modern and clean. There's his and hers bathrooms with modern toilets and a basin and mirrors, but no shower. The common room has wood fire, perfect for drying clothes, and the kitchen has gas stoves, gas, scrubbing brushes, and dishwashing liquid, thanks Doc. The water situation is the same at Mackenzie's, so boil it, blah, blah, blah. Apparently Cairns frequent visitors, but unfortunately I didn't get to see any. Anyway, here's a few snaps of the views. Day 3, our last day of the Routeburn Track. Woke up to a gorgeous day. We're making our way down from Routeburn Falls Hut to the Routeburn Shelter, where our shuttle will pick us up. So it's about a 9.8 10k walk, and they reckon 3 to 4 hours. Here's a little side mission down to Ford Flat. It's only 2 minutes and it's well worth it, so I highly recommend it. It's stunning. glad we chose to walk the track in this direction. You can truly enjoy the scenery at a more relaxed pace, and it's nice to have a shorter day after the effort of the previous days. Going the other way, this section would be a steady uphill climb. Looking back, I regret not stopping in at Routeburn Falls Hut. My new trail friends said it was really nice and they really enjoyed stopping in there. This is Routeburn Shelter and our bus stop. So that's our Routeburn adventure over. The weather didn't ruin it, it added to the experience. I may even reattempt it one day and hope for some better weather and some views. If you have any questions, drop them below. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to my channel. Good luck out there.